Petty revenge can be so sweet. I'm your host, Tight. Let's see who got a treat. Our first one is from Above Room Temp Queso. I was working a 1099 position that was bringing in around an extra $3K a month. I was able to do this job alongside my full-time job with no issues. I turned in my work on time, I attended all meetings, and even had gotten a great report from one of my clients. My job must have suspected that I was doing more than one position, however. They started demanding that I check my email at least once an hour, and even set hours for me as a 1099 worker. I had to report when I was out of the office, whether for injury or something else. I pointed out how I was a 1099 contractor and that none of those things were a contractual obligation. In fact, the entire reason I took on the extra work with this company was the flexibility. They ignored this and continued to push. A few weeks ago, at nearly midnight, I received a termination email. No phone call, not even a text message. I went to log on to my computer the next day and saw my credentials were invalid. I reached out to my supervisor and was told to check my personal email. If you even do that. And that was the end of it. I stewed in it for a few days before I finally did something. I reported them for mislabeling my position as 1099, when in fact I should have been a W-2 employee. The IRS has a ton of information on what constitutes 1099 work and what doesn't, and I met none of the criteria for 1099 work. They were doing this to avoid paying taxes on their employees, and to avoid having to offer insurance. So I reported them. I would wager that this is still ongoing for them, as it's only been a few weeks. I'm not excited about potentially putting people out of work, but I'm tired of being fucked over by employers. Edit: I submitted a form to my State Department of Labor and will be calling them tomorrow. If they're taking advantage of people, I guarantee the OP's not the first one, so maybe they definitely needed to be reported, and they can have the IRS fucking deal with them. Beautiful way to get revenge on a shitty company that's trying to use loopholes to avoid paying what's really due. This next one is by OK Presentation 6442. I'm 35 female now, but in college, I rented a small house with 3 dudes. All of us in our early 20s. I have many stories of petty revenge from this time in my life, as guys in their 20s who are living away from their mothers for the first time often need the point illustrated in no uncertain terms. But this is one of my favorites. The house had one bathroom for the 4 of us, and as the only girl, and the only one with a clean freak for a mother, I ended up doing basically all of the cleaning. I frequently put things away in the common space, shoes in the front closet, laptop on a shelf so no one trips over the cord, etc. Both because it made cleaning easier, and because it's common courtesy to clean up your shit in common spaces. I was often met with irritation from my roommates who couldn't find their stuff, as if I was hiding it from them and not putting it in perfectly reasonable and agreed upon places. During this time, one roommate also had a girlfriend who was basically a squatter in our house. I did my best to be friendly and welcoming, including driving her places when I had time, and helping her find a job. Both mistakes in hindsight, but that's another story. She technically had a place to live elsewhere, but all of her stuff somehow ended up in our house, including our one tiny bathroom, which she showered in twice a day, despite contributing nothing to rent or utilities. The number of products lining our shower easily tripled when she appeared, which made cleaning the bathroom a nightmare. I asked that she corral her bathroom stuff and keep it in his room, so the shower could be cleaned without knocking 27 conditioner bottles over. But that was asking too much. The final verdict from my roommates was that I should just leave our stuff where you found it. So I did. When I cleaned the shower, I sprayed down all of her bathroom products with scrubbing bubbles rather than move it. It melted her expensive shampoo bar pretty quickly and made all of her bottled products slippery. But I was just following instructions. Roommate's laptop was plugged in, so I tripped over the cord while walking through the living room. You said just leave it, so I did. Even though tripping over it unplugged it, and now it's dead when you need to use it. And my personal favorite, roommate and girlfriend left their shoes all over the living room rug. The closet is literally 3 feet away. I needed to vacuum, so I left their stuff where I found it, rolled up the living room rug with their shoes inside, and vacuumed the whole house. They came out halfway through and asked where I put their shoes, because they were leaving. I didn't put them anywhere. I left them where I found them. They kept looking, confused, until about 30 minutes later when I unrolled the rug to replace it, revealing their shoes. They called me an asshole, but after the shoe incident, suddenly, her bathroom products were put away, shoes ended up in the closet, and the laptop was plugged in somewhere out of the way. That's a fantastic way to get back at a whole bunch of fucking pigs that want to live in a pig pen. Honestly, I can't stand people who don't know how to pick up after themselves, who can't find a home for their things, and who fucking leave garbage and other things everywhere. It's just cringe. I don't understand it, but I'm glad to read a story like this, where people just like this get exactly what's coming to them. And our final one is by Reggie. My friend told me I should post this here, so here I am. So my 25 female, ex-fiance, 27 male, of 7 years recently dumped me for a younger woman, 21 female, that he met on TikTok. To make a long story short, I had suspicions about his infidelity since January this year, but every time I raised concerns, I'd get hit with the good ol', "Don't worry babe, she's just my best friend." Well, turns out I was right, and the very same day, we called our relationship off, due to unrelated issues. He's posting on social media about how much he loves his new girl. Last week, he met her in real life for the first time and moved her like 6 states away into his dad's house. Keep in mind, we've been broken up exactly a month today. Anyway, we had a dog together, Rosie. The house we were living in together is mine, so I decided to keep her here with me since I had more stability and she's BFFs with my roommate's dogs. He agreed that she'd probably be better off with me and only asked that I send him pictures of her and keep him updated on how she's doing. I said, sure, I'll email you some photos every few months. So, every day since then, whenever I let Rosie out into the yard, I'll take pictures of her pooping to send to my ex. I've gotten all different angles, a couple of videos, the whole 9 yards. In a couple months, he'll have an inbox full of our shitting dog to remind him of just what exactly I think about him. Edit, wow, I didn't expect this to blow up as much as it has. Thank you so much to everyone for asking how Rosie and I are doing. We're just fine. I think she's definitely sad that he's not around anymore. They were best buddies after all, but she's surrounded by her pup friends and gets belly rubs every day. As for my ex and the other woman, I can only assume she knew about our relationship. It's possible he lied to her and said we were roommates or something, but I don't really care. Even if she was actively poaching him, my ex would have shut it down if he really loved me. End of story. He's told me everything I needed to know about his actions, which are far more trustworthy than his words. All I know is I'm happier and feel more fulfilled now than I have in years. I'm reconnecting with old friends, spending time with loved ones, trying new things and meeting new people. The best revenge I could ever have is being better off without him. A fantastic revenge for a piece of shit cheater. God, I hate cheaters so much, and social media has made the problem so much worse. Alright, that's enough pettiness for the day. Well, that wraps up this episode of Petty Revenge. If you liked the video, please drop a like, share my content on all of your social media, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell so you're notified every time I upload, and drop a comment down below. It really helps with the algorithm and helps new people find my channel. Thanks for watching, thanks to my patrons and super thanks contributors. Have a great day and stay safe out there.